Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What is up, y'all? Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Hit that like button. Sub to the channel if you are not a member, and also hit the notifications to get all of my content and all of my videos. Salute to the whole entire LDBC, Lions Den basketball, boxing communities, and salute to all the people that rock with me now. Some of y'all are probably going to talk about this a little bit later. Probably going to talk about this tomorrow. Well, I'm going to talk about it right now. I had to go live for this one right here, y'all. In case you haven't watched it, tonight on on inside the NBA and NBA on TNT, just to start with, um, Charles Barkley goes on a rant. Now, um, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and listen to it a little bit later or whatnot, and you do your best judgment and everything. But man, Charles Barkley was on point with what he was saying, and he basically was telling. He went off on Kendrick Perkins. He went off on ESPN about just talking about, hey, what's up with it? Pull up. I see you in a bit. Make sure y'all go sub to BJ over there at the Pull Up Podcast. Salute to you, man. But man, Charles Barkley went off, man, on Perkins, and that's what we've been saying here. Not only myself, but a lot of the other brothers, man. We've been talking about how they only talk about one team, one player. Um, he basically was saying that the Lakers have had a good 2 weeks. Okay, and he was saying that the Golden State Warriors have had a good 2 weeks since the trade, which he is right about and everything. But he said that we need to start giving more props to the teams that have been doing it for the last several months since the beginning of the season, in which he was referring to the OKC Thunder and as well as the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm gonna take it a step further. We got to give props to the Detroit Pistons, and I don't know why they're not talking about that. They talk about the Pistons sparingly. You said it's about time someone checked Perk. Well, we've been doing it all the time on here in the LDBC. Now, Perk lately, he's back on, capping for LeBron. I guess he felt his pockets getting a little thin or whatever. But there was, I would say, a little bit, about 2 3 months ago or whatever, where there was a slippery slope where Perk was sitting up there and he was actually going at LeBron, saying some things, and people were kind of surprised. It was him and Shannon Sharp, if you remember. But the thing about it, man, is you gotta respect Charles Barkley what he said. Now, like I said, man, I don't agree with everything that Charles Barkley said, but you gotta agree with him on this. And Charles Barkley said he wants all the smoke. He said, he said, man, he said something about I'm not a guy that whistles by the graveyard or something like that, man. I don't know, man. He would just went out, but you'll have to check it out yourself and everything, man. And listen, man, I'm glad he went off, and it's about time somebody said it. That's why these guys, man, this show is needed, because they say the stuff that a lot of people they want to say, but they're afraid to say. You know what I'm saying? Like on ESPN, they're gonna try to kiss ass, and they don't want to feel like oh man, my job is on the line. I can't say what I want. I'm walking on pins and needles and eggshells and all that other stuff. But over there, at the inside the NBA, and with Kenny, Shaq, Chuck, and Ernie Johnson, it's like you pretty much say whatever the hell you want to, and they speak for a lot of the play because those guys are former players. Okay, Perk is a former player, but a lot of those guys on the other network, they're not former players. You know what I'm saying? Some of those guys didn't even make it to the nowhere near the pros. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Charles Barkley, man, he speaks for a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? Now it doesn't take away from Charles Barkley in terms of some of his stuff that he's capped on in the past and his political views and stuff like that. But I will say this, man, it needed to be said. Now, here's another thing too, right? What I start to notice is that whenever the Lakers are doing good and everything, then they start throwing in all these narratives. Like for instance, you know what I'm saying, which I haven't talked about, but I'll go ahead and we'll talk about it right now. When they talked about how AD, okay, when they were saying that AD was complaining and everything like that, what do you know? They start talking about Jeannie Buss and her saying that giving her reasons as to why she made the move that she made, which was bullshit. Okay, and we all know that Jeannie Buss wanted Luca there as soon as she got any type of hints that Luca was available and everything like that. It didn't have nothing to do with AD because AD pretty much had everything set. He was leading the team in scoring, rebounding, field goal percent, field goal percentage, block shots. The only thing that he wasn't, and steals, and the only thing that he wasn't leading the team in was assists, and that was LeBron. You understand what I mean? So, anyways, man, that's just a prime example. And somehow, some way, they start to market and they cater to LeBron. You know what I'm saying? When we really know what the reason is for them winning. I mean, what they're 11-2 since Luca came there. They're 11-2. You know what I'm saying? And that's not all LeBron. I mean, LeBron. Don't get me wrong. LeBron has played. He's played well and everything. But like I said in the earlier video when I was talking about Steph Curry, this is what I said. I said that it's about time that after all these years you figured out how to move without the ball and how moving without the ball it makes your team flow better. If you really didn't know that, it took you that long to realize that. But I digress. But yeah, Charles Barkley was on point, man. He absolutely destroyed not only Perk, but he destroyed all those guys on there. As much as I like Shanae, hey, she's a former Sparks player. Saying she gonna give love to the Lakers, and she love her some LeBron and everything like that. She be capping for him too, and it's like they only talk about the Lakers, and they've been talking about the Lakers and the Warriors. Now, I don't really have a problem with the Warriors. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a problem with the Warriors. Now, I don't like the fact that they're trying to push the whole narrative again. With the Lakers versus the Warriors, the Steph versus LeBron thing or whatever. I think that's a little blown over or whatnot. But I don't have a problem with the Warriors, and this is why I don't have a problem with the Warriors. The reason why I don't have a problem with the Warriors is because when Jimmy Butler came over there, Jimmy Butler was being doubted. They were calling everything. They were calling Jimmy Butler everything but a child of God, and they were just saying all this disrespectful stuff in terms of the media. Like that, they were dragging that on for a little while. If you notice, they were talking about Jimmy Butler. They were saying stuff about him. He was a problem child and all this other stuff. And then he comes over there, and guess what? The Warriors, they start balling out. So I don't have a problem with the Warriors, okay? My problem is how they pinpoint the Lakers, like saying that the Lakers saved the NBA and all this other stuff. Look, man, they haven't saved the NBA. I'm gonna tell you what's been keeping the NBA afloat. It's been a guy by the name of SGA, like Charles Barkley said with OKC. It's been Evan Mobley over there with the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's been Jared Allen with the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's been Darius Garland with the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? You know what I'm saying? Donovan Mitchell, even though I don't like what Donovan Mitchell did, but it's been them. And on top of that, as well as them OKC boys over there. And like I told you, I'm going to take it a step further. It's been guys like Cade Cunningham keeping the league afloat. You know what I'm saying? It's been guys like Anthony Edwards who's giving you dynamic plays. You know what I'm saying? Making the shit entertaining. Hell, even some of these guys like that not even really being mentioned. We got the dunk of the year by Shaden Sharp. How come they don't talk about that? They're not giving love to the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? He had James Harden putting up 50 and everything. So I mean, there's more to talk about in the NBA. It's just that y'all so one dimensional and y'all so stuck on just marketing your product around one guy that you've been doing for so long. And it's not fair to the people. So I'm glad Charles Barkley, he called that out, and he called Kendrick Perkins out. Like you said, he's not ducking any smoke. But it needed to be said. It needed to be said. We have been saying that. And I'm glad Charles Barkley, doubled down on what we've been saying. We've been saying this for, pretty much the whole entire year. That's what the brother Two-Raw been talking about. Two-Raw has stayed talking about this. You know what I'm saying? As well as others. You know what I'm saying? But I say Two-Raw because Two-Raw has really been saying, and lately, since the Lakers have been winning, look, we give them their props, man. We give them their props. They have been winning or whatever, but let's not throw these other guys up under the bus. Like, let's not just say, okay, yeah, the Lakers are automatically ready to win a championship or whatever. Y'all haven't been saying that about OKC. There's been guys that'll say it like on social media that the OKC Thunder could win, a championship. There's some people that'll say possibly the Cleveland Cavaliers or something like that. But as soon as the Lakers start winning, guess what? Oh, the Lakers, they're going to the championship. They already planning for next year, like the Lakers are gonna repeat and calling them Showtime and all this other stuff. Nah. What's up with it, Angela Bell? I see you in the building. How you feeling, man? Here on the late night tip, man. But like I said, man, if you're just coming in here, man, Charles Barkley absolutely destroyed. I mean, destroyed Perk and ESPN and all those guys on there that want to be one dimensional. And that's the beauty of me, and that's the beauty of some of these other channels around here, man. I ain't gonna just talk about one thing, man. Y'all want to sit up here, y'all want to talk about the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like Charles Barkley is feeling like, and like he said, another point that Charles Barkley made too is that he's saying he's not stuck in the 90s. He said that he loved the evolution of the game and everything like that. I feel the same way. Listen, man, I'm not stuck in the 80s. I'm not stuck in the 90s or any of that. I appreciate basketball, evolving and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to, but you need to market around other guys. There's other guys that are more entertaining. SGA, how come we not talking about him putting up 51? You know what I'm saying? How come we not talking about that guy every single night? It's like SGA's stuff don't matter, but somehow, some way, it's like, oh, he's 40. He's doing it because he's 40 and stuff like that. Look, we already know that he's 40. And I've said it a couple of times. Yeah, he's 40 and everything, but I'm going to talk about other guys that need to be talked about. I'm glad somebody finally woke up and realized it and been seeing what we've been seeing the whole time. And anytime we want to have any type of conversation where it doesn't involve LeBron, guess what? That's how some people, it's sickening now. Like I could tell even on here, some of y'all don't even want to, if it does not have anything to do with LeBron, guess what? Y'all don't want to have that conversation, good or bad. Good or bad. I'm talking about the people that don't even want to, like the people that want to ridicule LeBron. I'm even talking about them too. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't want to just sit here, have an hour-long conversation ridiculing LeBron. No, basketball is more than that. Basketball is more than LeBron. Basketball is more than the Lakers. Basketball is more than, Los Angeles. No, we got to talk about Detroit. Talk about Cade Cunningham. Do you even know anything about Cade Cunningham? No, you do not. Do you know anything about Jaden Duran? No, you do not. Do you know any of these other teams? Do you know any of these other young guys that's coming out? Do you know about a Dyson Daniels? Do you know about a Jaron Jackson Jr.? You know what I'm saying? Do you know about some of these other guys that are out here? You know what I'm saying? You said they setting the Lakers up for failure. These teams. Well, look, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Once LeBron goes, the Lakers are gonna be successful. Now, Luka, I don't mind them talking about Luka because Luka is the one. How come we're not saying that Luka is the one that came over there? Since Luka has came, how come we're not talking about that? All of a sudden, he's MVP and he's in the MVP conversation and all this other stuff. I'm talking about LeBron. No, because if you see who's valuable. He's actually taking the weight off of LeBron's shoulder. He's making him, you know what I'm saying, being able to get his move without the ball and do everything like that, but yet and still be able to do his thing whenever Luke is out and everything. So they got a nice little mix and everything. But why is that? Because Luka has came over there. You understand what I mean? So, Angelo, I understand what you're saying. They're gonna listen. Luka will win a championship. You know what I'm saying? They will win a championship. They will eventually build around Luka. Luka is good enough to do that. Whether he 270, 280, or whatever, the boy could ball. I take 34. I think it was 34, 8-8 or whatever. I'll take that weighing 270 or whatever than to have, a Joel Embiid that could barely get up and down the floor or whatever. You supposed to be begging for MVPs and stuff, I'll take that. But like I said, man, Charles Barkley, he went straight nuclear. Just straight barbecue Kendrick Perkins and everything. Like he said, he's not ducking any smoke. And that doesn't just go for Kendrick Perkins, man. I mean, he's not the only one that's guilty of it, man. There's other guys on there. Oh, LeBron, the Lakers. LeBron, he's MVP and all this other stuff. Nah. Man. We can't automatically just say, okay, yeah, they're going to win the championship. Look, we know they're in the second seed and everything. They're doing good right now. But I said that I'm not going to take the Lakers serious, and I'm not going to take any any of these other teams serious, man, until they can consistently beat, the OKC Thunder, particularly in the West. You understand what I mean? And like I said, when we talk about the East, I'm not ready to rule out Cleveland winning the championship. My mindset is different. I'm like, look, they could mess around, get in a dogfight with Detroit, and guess what? That their season will be over. Something that I like to see because guess what? The Cleveland Cavaliers is going to be the one under pressure. But see, we don't like to talk about none of this stuff, man. Like I said, Charles Barkley is right. All people want to do is they want to be one-dimensional. They want to dummy down their conversation. Oh, this is basketball, man. Basketball is the beauty of basketball is being able to talk about several different things. You know what I'm saying? You could talk about the men, you could talk about the women, you could talk about different teams, you could talk about different positions and everything like that, man. Why do we got to be one-dimensional? Why we got to be one-dimensional? No. No, and that's all Charles Barkley is saying. We want to talk about the obvious. Now let's talk about what's going on beneath the surface. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, y'all sit up here, y'all don't want to talk about guys like Kyrie Irving or whatever, who's been thrown under the bus. Y'all sit up here and y'all not talking about some of these other teams that aren't getting the credit that they deserve. Like you don't know nothing about the Pacers. You understand what I mean? You don't know nothing, necessarily, about the Memphis Grizzlies. You don't talk about H-Town, the H-Town Rockets. You don't talk about none of these guys. You don't talk about none of these guys, man. And it's sad. That's what's really gonna kill your product. And people wonder why, oh man, well, Jason Tatum is boring and all this other, because you don't talk about him enough. You barely talk about the Boston Celtics, you know what I'm saying? Listen, you wouldn't even think that the Boston Celtics won a championship. Y'all talk more about, you would think the Lakers won the championship in last year and that they was going for a second one as opposed to Boston Celtics. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talk about Boston Celtics because y'all have to, y'all forced to talk about the Boston Celtics because they won the championship. But if y'all had your choice, y'all would be on the Lakers all the time and stuff, and the Warriors. And like I said, I don't have no problem with them talking about the Warriors because I like how the Warriors are bouncing back. I can't even lie. I like how the Warriors are bouncing back. Now, will they win? Mess around, win the West? I think if anybody might have a chance to be OKC, I think it's the Warriors, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just from what I've seen. But I could be wrong. Like I said, you know, I could be wrong. I guess maybe it's a little biased because I want Jimmy Butler to do his thing or whatnot. But it is what it is, man. Charles Barkley, man, he cooked Perk, gave him the business, man, gave everybody else the business on there. And they know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, I got love for Shanae, and I don't really mess with Malika Andrews and all them and stuff, but come on, man, they really do cap for them, and they act like the Lakers is the only team in the NBA. Back in the day, they didn't do that, man. They talked about more teams. They talked about more players, regardless of what people want to think. I know this whole narrative is all they did was talk about Jordan. No, that ain't true. That's not true. Go back and go look. You knew who other players were. A lot of these guys, man, you talk to now, man, they don't know some of these guys that are on these rosters, man. Like, get to know some of these guys. That why you think we talk about college basketball. You know what I'm saying? Women's college basketball. Women, WNBA. Nah, you gotta have a little bit of versatility. You know, everything it revolves about around one guy. Now they're doing it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this, and I'm gonna close on this right here. Right, I'm gonna say this. I bet you anything that LeBron's ego is so damn big, right, that he'll never be like, I can't take any of this credit. I can't take any of this credit. You know what I'm saying? You need to give the credit to the best player on the team right now, which is Luka. Now, he has said that about AD, but we know clearly, to me, the best player on the team is Luka. You know what I'm saying? The guy who has been impactful has been Luka. Now, has he had a great several stretch of games? LeBron, yes, he has. But let's not forget, man, Luka has been balling, and on top of that, he's getting his legs back up under him. People got to forget, man, he's coming back from a calf injury. You know what I'm saying? He didn't play for damn near 2 months. You know what I'm saying? He got to get back in rhythm. You know what I'm saying? He really not 100% Luka yet. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing. You talking about a Luka that done put up 73 points, man. Okay, I think people forget about that. You talking about a Luka, man, that can give you a 30 or 40 point triple double. You know what I'm saying? Y'all haven't seen Luka yet. You know what I'm saying? when he get hot, you know what I'm saying? Y'all think 30 points is Luka? Nah, we talking about a guy that done put up 73 points against the Atlanta Hawks. I think y'all forget about that. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up, just obliterating them. Let that sink in. Straight to the point. I'm out.